There's a few features in LaunchBox that I believe a lot of users don't really quite notice, and so they kind of go underutilized. Today's tutorial is all about one such feature. Hi, my name is Brad, and today on Unbroken Software Studio Tutorials, I'll show you how to use the additional apps feature in LaunchBox and how truly powerful it can be to augment your gaming experience with LaunchBox. So additional apps can be used to load several different types of media or be used to put things in a very specific and tidy view. So you'll notice here that I've got 4 versions of the 7th Saga. There are ROM hacks, of course, and personally I don't mind them being separated out into 4 different categories. That doesn't particularly bother me. However, I know that it bothers some users. So when you right click a game, you'll notice here that I've got the little RetroArch icon and the name Redux. And you'll also notice that I've got a ROM hack called Redux. So let's right click the 7th Saga and we'll go to Edit. We'll go to the Additional Apps tab and you'll see here that I've got 2 items already added. So I'm going to go ahead and remove Redux from the list to show you how to add something like this to the Additional Apps window. So we'll click Add Application. The application name is going to be Redux. I don't really need to include the 7th Saga Redux. I'm going to know that it's a ROM hack. Where it says Application Path, we're going to click Browse. Right down here where it says applications.exe.com.bat.cmd, we're going to click the All Files button under here. Then I'm going to use the Windows search that I've actually done a tutorial on previously. So if you need some help with figuring out how to use the Windows search, you can look up that tutorial. I'm going to just type in 7th here. So it's going to bring up all my 7th Saga ROM hacks. Remember, ignore the SRM files. Those are save files, but we have got Redux right here. I'm going to go ahead and double click that. It's going to fill in the path, and because my ROMs are kept on the same drive as my LaunchBox install, it's going to go ahead and automatically use the relative path option. And since it is a game that requires the use of an emulator, we're going to go ahead and press the button Use Emulator here. Since this isn't something that needs to be ran with the game, I'm going to go ahead and leave these 2 boxes unchecked, but I will show you a good case scenario for these 2 things in a minute. We're going to go ahead and press OK. You're going to see here that it adds the item Redux to the list, but you'll also notice that I have manual added here as well. So I did the same thing, but instead of browsing for a game, I browsed for the game's manual in the manuals folder in LaunchBox. So if you have an Emo Movies account and you are downloading manuals for games, just like the same structure for videos and images, you'll open your manuals folder. Inside will be system folders. You'll open that. And then inside there will be the manuals for individual games. And 7th Saga does have one. We're going to go ahead and click OK. And then when we right click a game, you can see here Redux. So clicking on it will go ahead and open up just the Redux version of this game in the emulator that we have set for the original 7th Saga entry. So I checked Use Emulator. So I went ahead and used automatically the default command line parameters and everything that I have set up for SNES through RetroArch. So for example, if you have it set up differently and you're not using RetroArch, you check the Use Emulator box. It will go ahead and just automatically use what you've got already set up. Back in the additional apps screen here, you'll notice that where I've got manual, I've typed in manual auto open, and this box that's checked for before is checked. And what this means is that it will automatically run before the main application, which is something that I want to do. Maybe you want to read the manual, you know, the game opens and it's loading and you got the manual like you were a kid again, sitting down in front of your SNES, reading the manual, looking up at the screen. Then we're going to double click the game. The manual is going to automatically open on up in my default PDF reader, which is Foxit PDF. I definitely suggest this PDF reader as it is one of the best. Don't know if it can be controlled by a controller, but there are alternatives if you want your PDFs to automatically open and to control them via a controller. There are options out there. So yay, the Seventh Saga manual opens up and you're browsing. Okay, well, the game. Well, you're playing the game. Oh, what's that item? Well, okay, well, let's try and look. Or what's that monster? Anything. What's that, you know? So, oh, okay, so Ulvan Ed's Wharf wants to become, and you get the idea, right? Well, maybe the game doesn't come with a manual. Maybe you are using a GameFAQs guide instead. So there's a game here called Wondrous Magic. Let's go ahead and edit this game. Go to the additional apps window. We're going to hit add application. I'm going to type in just FAQ is fine, I guess. Doesn't really particularly matter. As long as you know what the item is, it doesn't matter what you call it. And then I'm going to hit browse. I'm going to go to my desktop, but you can put this file anywhere. And then if the item that you were looking for doesn't show up, make sure you check the all files option. So Wondrous Magic FAQ walkthrough for Super Nintendo by Richie. Now, if you are using an absolute path, be careful if you move the file around, or even if you use a relative path. I mean, if you move the stuff around, you are going to more than likely need to hit browse and come back in here and retell it where it is. So put the file in a location and try to keep it in that location. So if I was smart, I'd make a folder on my emulator drive or in my LaunchBox folder called FAQs or something, and I would plop them in there. And all this is a URL, an HTML link that I put on my desktop. I dragged and dropped it from Firefox, so that's all that is there. And this is the same deal with the manual. Automatically run before main application. Okay. And instead of opening up Foxit, what it's going to do instead is open up Firefox. And for me, I have Firefox open on my other screen right now. So it opened up the FAQ on, over there. If you have a multi-monitor setup, you can obviously have these things open up on the other screen, which is really handy. But if you don't have an easy way to do this, I would suggest actually something like Display Fusion Pro. In the triggers menu here on the left, what you can do is tell certain EXEs or threads on your PC to do certain things. So I always have Explorer, like opening a folder, automatically open up big, maximized on my main monitor. RetroArch here, I have it automatically center to the middle on my main screen here. But if you want something like Foxit or your PDF reader to open up maximized on your other screen, you can go ahead and click add and then go through here and do all that. So you can augment things like that. You can just set automatic like triggers. You set it up so my manual automatically opens, and then when Foxit opens, it just automatically moves to my other screen maximized. So I've got my game on the left, my manual on the right, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with different programs and triggers to automatically set up an interesting setup, if you will. Maybe you're like me and you like to listen to music while you play some games. Maybe you want to play a racing game and the music either isn't that great, or you've heard the soundtrack a ton of times, or you want to play a fighting game, same deal. Soundtrack isn't that great, or you've heard it a million times. So let's just go ahead and take Nosferatu here as an example. Go back to the additional apps screen. We're going to add application. So for me, I'm adding an OCR playlist. So we'll go ahead and type OCR playlist in. I have the OCR playlist saved to my desktop through Winamp. So I've automatically chosen the path, automatically run before main application. Okay. And then when I go ahead and double click the game, you can hear that Winamp opens right on up and starts playing, and I've got it on my other screen. Most of my stuff like this opens up over there. So then as you can see here, it's going to go ahead and start playing this playlist of music. So I'm going to rock out to this, soundtrack or playlist that I've created and play an awesome game or something like that, right? Obviously, you need to mute the music in the game you're playing, but that was just an example. And there are other uses for the additional apps. You can load BAT files, so if you are into playing Dreamcast games through an emulator that needs to mount the discs, you can either just select the disc in additional apps automatically and use the mount options and things like that with daemon tools and things like that to automatically just mount it, or you can create a BAT file that has the mount command inside and you load the BAT file before the game runs. You can have it load XPatter profiles if you have like PC games that don't have good controller customizations, but you've got a profile set up for it. You can have it automatically open up the profile for you as the game loads so that you don't have to manually open it on up. If you are into screen capturing your games for recording, or you like to take tons of screenshots, you can have other programs like that automatically open on up. You can tell additional apps to open a program, or you can tell it to open a specific file like a PDF, and it will go ahead and automatically use your default program in Windows for that file. And then there, of course, is further application command line parameters that you can use if you need to. So there we go. That was the rundown for how to use the additional applications feature within LaunchBox and how powerful it truly can be. That's going to be it for this tutorial. If you learned something new today and you figured out a new feature, or you got some new use case scenarios for the additional apps feature, then please give us a thumbs up. It shows users that this tutorial was helpful and that you liked it, and it does help us reach a bigger audience. So the more you thumbs up, the more it helps us out. If you'd like to get notified of future tutorials and videos, then also subscribe to us as well. We would greatly appreciate it. If I glossed over anything, or you need a better explanation of something that I covered in this tutorial, then please leave a comment in the comment section below. Jason and myself are more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have on LaunchBox or the feature in today's video. My name is Brad. The link to my channel is in the description below. I do lots of gaming content. If that sounds like your cup of tea, give me a subscribe over there. I would greatly appreciate that as well. Remember, Freaks and Geeks, to play more games, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day.